So tonight we are going to be making one of my favorite meals of all time, honestly, and it is chicken Parmesan. I make this in so many different ways. I do my own fresh tomato sauce. I use jarred tomato sauce. You can really do this however you like, but this is just kind of the classic way that I make it the most. It is so good. So I have everything out, prepped, ready to go. That makes all of this process a lot quicker if you get everything prepped for your breading all at one time. That way you can just kind of power through it. So I have some chicken breasts here that I just kind of sliced through, opened them up like a book. I didn't cut all the way through them. So now we have these really pretty kind of like little open book fillets. It gives us way more surface area to bread. So what we're gonna do, I season this with salt and pepper. I'm gonna throw it in here to my flour. Very simple. And you could do just straight flour if you wanted to, but I'm gonna add a little bit. But sometimes I do just straight flour. It depends on what I'm in the mood for. And from the flour, you're gonna just shake it off. And then we're gonna go into some egg mixture. This is a messy job, but it is so worth it because, hello, it's chicken Parmesan. Not much else needs to be explained. Understood doesn't need to be said. All right, so we got it in the egg mixture, just shake off a little bit extra. And now we're gonna come into our breadcrumbs. And this is just some seasoned Italian breadcrumbs. Sometimes I do panko. Sometimes if I have little extra like rosemary toasty crackers that I put like on charcuterie boards, you can like bang all those up and make a nice little meal out of them. But breadcrumbs is just fine. So now I have a skillet over here. I have some olive oil and some butter. Melt it away. It is nice and bubbly. So we're gonna add these bad boys in. Chicken breasts out. You're not looking to cook them through at this point. You're really just looking to get a nice crust and golden color on them. So now what we're gonna do is get our sauce going. Now if you wanted to cut back on some time, you could honestly cook your sauce in another skillet while you're cooking your chicken breast. But I really like to get my sauce going in the same skillet with all of the oil and butter that I cook the chicken in. It does take a little bit longer, but it's definitely a step well worth it. So I just have some onion and garlic here. I just chopped up about half a yellow onion, and then I have 4 to 5 cloves of garlic that I left whole. So we're just gonna add these in to the oil. And then for some heat, we're gonna add some Calabrian chili paste. Now this stuff is hot, so proceed with caution, but I really like the spice and the heat that this gives. So we're just gonna do a teaspoon of that. Again, a little goes a very long way. And then we're just gonna come in with some salt, because I'm not really looking to brown my onions. I really just want them to sweat and soften. We're gonna do some pepper. And we're just gonna cook these down for a few minutes until they get nice, soft, and translucent. Ooh, I can smell that chili paste. Ooh, that's opening my sinuses. so good. What I like about the Calabrian chili paste is that it's that kind of heat where you're not like dying and gasping for air. It subtly will kind of sneak up on you in the back of your mouth, and you'll get like the faintest little bit of sweat coming out. Your nose might run like a little bit, but you're not slobbering and getting snot all in your mouth. It doesn't appeal to anybody to make them want to run and cook this, and I don't know what is, but it's just that kind of like slow heat that really just sneaks up on you, and it just kind of coats your mouth, and it's warm, but oh my God, it's so good. You could definitely leave it out if you wanted to, or you can even do like chili flakes too. So we're just gonna cook this down and keep going with our sauce. And garlic and the chili paste have been sauteing now for about like 5 to 10 minutes. So now we're gonna add the tomato product to this. My favorite type of canned tomatoes to use are these. They're whole San Marzano. I'm probably butchering that like nobody's business, but I like to get the whole ones. And what I've done is I've actually taken some kitchen shears and I'm just going through and I'm cutting them up. You can pour these into a bowl and you can crush them through your hands, or you can leave them whole. Sometimes I leave them whole, sometimes I'll crush them up like this. It really just depends on what I'm in the mood for. If you can't find these, you can just use canned diced tomatoes. You can use canned tomato sauce. You can use canned whole tomatoes. Whole plum tomatoes are really good because they're nice and sweet. You could even do like diced fire roasted tomatoes. The possibilities are endless. Use whatever you have. Use whatever you like. Even if you wanted to cheat, I ain't gonna tell nobody, but you can use store-bought spaghetti sauce too. It works just fine. And then you have all the flavor that's already been put into that spaghetti sauce. So whatever you have, whatever you like, but tonight we're gonna go with this bad boy. So we're just gonna pour this in. And I just did half of this large can just because I don't like my chicken Parmesan to be drowning in sauce. So I don't really make a huge pot of sauce when I'm doing the chicken Parmesan. So I just did about half. I'm gonna let this come to a boil, let it simmer together for about like 5 to 10 minutes, however long you have the time to let it simmer, because of course the longer the better. And then once garlic starts to soften, and actually what I like to go do is as the garlic cloves soften, I'll go and kind of like smash them a little bit so they can melt into the sauce. So we'll just let this go for a few minutes, and then we'll add in our chicken breast, and we'll top it with cheese, and gonna get real good. So our sauce has been simmering now for about 10 to 15 minutes. So now we're gonna add our chicken breast pieces in. And again, I don't have a ton of sauce in here just because I don't like for my chicken Parmesan to be drowning in it. You could easily just like spoon some of this in a baking sheet, put the chicken breast in, put some more sauce on top, put it in the oven if you wanted to. But if I haven't already let it be known, I'm lazy and I don't want to have to clean any more dishes than I already do. So I like to keep everything in one pot. So we're just gonna pile all of this chicken in there and get it nice and tucked in. And now we are going to pile this with cheese. Now you could do straight mozzarella if you wanted to. You could do straight Parmesan. You can do like the Italian cheese blend already shredded from the store. Whatever you have, whatever you like, just use that, okay? So here I have, this is a shredded 4-cheese Italian blend. I'm gonna start with this, and we're gonna put a big pile of cheese on each of our chicken breast pieces. And I like for the breast to be in the sauce enough to where if it's setting in it, the sauce isn't like coming up the sides. So we're gonna pile this on top. And then now we're gonna go in with some mozzarella. This is what's gonna give us that nice, gooey, stringy topping that I think everybody really loves when it comes to chicken Parmesan. And I have here, you can use fresh mozzarella, you could use the shredded stuff, but I find when it comes to something like this, the fresh really kind of just goes a whole nother level with it. I always have these little marinated mozzarella balls in my fridge, so that's what we're gonna use for this. You could tear them up if you wanted to, but I'm just gonna pile these high. And then also what I like to do just to kind of help get everything golden is the olive oil that the mozzarella balls are marinated in with all those herbs and spices. We're gonna drizzle this on top and just make it, whew. another level. All right, so now what you could do, if you wanted, you could pop a lid on this and just leave it on the cooktop and let all the cheese melt. But we're actually gonna put this under the broiler. I have it set on high. Watch it closely though, don't let your cheese get too burnt, and we're just gonna let it sit in there until the mozzarella melts and gets bubbly and gets brown in a few spots, and the chicken is gonna cook through. Because remember, these chicken breasts were already really thin, and then we cut them in half again, so they're not gonna take much longer cooking time before they're totally done. So let's get these in because we're gonna eat. Now that is chicken parm. Like, there goes the mic, drop it. That is unreal. Oh my God, oh my God. Oh my God, look at that cheese. Say goodbye to my taste buds. It was nice knowing you, because I'm about to burn the shit out of them on this. Like, hello. Oh my God. Just give me more cheese. Give me a little sauce. This is a bad idea. Oh my God. Oh, look at that. Oh my God. Don't make this. You ain't gonna like it. That's just fire. Like, oh my God. I'm sorry in advance because you're gonna hate me because that's how amazing this is. Like, it's so simple too. Like, just eat it out the skillet because, make this. She's falling over, it's so good too.